Hello, everyone. Back is Friday, and I have had such a beautiful week, and I thank God for that. I hope you all have had a beautiful week, and I wanted to say to the ones that's still sober, clean, still sober, God continue to bless you, because we'll get into that after I get to talking. But anyway, I wanted to say shout out. Let me give the Most High His recognition and tell Him thank you. Take a moment of silence for the addicts who still suffer in and outside of these walls. God, thank you. Who brought us here? God, thank you for allowing us. Thank you for the serenity prayer. Thank you for the 12 step. Thank you for just being who you are. No matter what situation we face today, no matter what we go through, no matter who hurt our feelings, no matter who take us through, thank God that we don't have to use about none of it. And today I wanted to talk about expectation. Expectations on people, expectations on life, expectations on where we going, expectation on what we need to do to always keep ourselves in out of harm's way. So tonight we're going to talk about expectation, and surrendering. Them are beautiful words to me. How do it feel? Talk about, somebody asked me today, Renee, how did it feel to surrender? You said, I didn't know until I got to that place to where I knew for sure that I had surrendered. I didn't get to that place until I knew for sure. Hey, Lionel Clark, until I was sure that I had surrendered. We talk about expectation. And tonight I want to get real like I do every Friday. I thank God that, I am clean. I thank God that I haven't used. I thank God that I can be real. I thank God I can intertwine with my personal feelings and talk to myself and tell myself how glad I am that I ain't where I used to be. How glad that things used to knock me off my square don't knock me off my square no more. It's okay for me to be by myself. It's okay to walk away from things that I know that's been like a bad drug to me. You know how drugs do. Drugs do to take us to many places. But sometimes in our lives that sometimes this sweater is hot. Sometimes in our life, we have to look at things for what it really is and look at the expectation of what we expect from ourselves. And what I expect from myself is to still stay humble, no matter what the situation is, no matter how I got to go through it, no matter how you got to go through it, no matter what you going through this week, because every week ain't going to be the same. Must tell you that. Every week ain't going to be. Sometimes a stone will come and flash against your head, and sometimes windows will be open to let you know what you've been doing is good and you're in a safe place. So don't let nobody take you off your square. Because every time, I got high, every time things bother me, I would get high. And I'm so grateful. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all better be glad. Y'all need to be glad that you don't have to pick up no matter what. Don't be, hey, let me tell y'all this. I'm on fire today because things that used to knock me off my square it's called the build up. I'm so full and built up when I surrender to the God of my understanding. I want to give a shout out to the 12 step. You saved my life. And I thank you every day for saving my life, because my life was on a roller coaster. I couldn't figure out, I couldn't detect, I couldn't remember, I was just a roller coaster. But I want to give a shout out to all the recovering addicts all over the world. When I tell you all over the world, I want to give you a shout out. Because we done went through something every year. We done went through something in a couple years. We done went through something in multiples of years. And guess what? We found something out that we don't have to use no matter what happens in our lives. And I'm so grateful for that. And I thank God for all the treatment facilities, all the inpatient, outpatient. I need this fan on above me. I thank God for the counselors and the therapists on second. On the counselors and the therapists. I thank God for delivering us. I thank God for allowing us to have somebody that come into our lives and into our corners to help us give a direction on this new journey of where we need to go and what we have to give up to get in and what we have to get in to get out. Because I learned something this whole entire week that, I don't, people say recovery is, to be better than I ever been. But my thing is, I want to be better just the way I supposed to be before all the pain came in. When we talk about pain, we talking about pain. We talking about things that happened to us. We talking about things that we didn't have control over. We talking about things that we got into that we knew we shouldn't have gotten into. Recovery is very simple if you use the tools that they give you, but you have to use the tools that they give you so you won't keep going back. How many times have we lied with that brain? How many times have we lied telling ourselves that we're done? I'm not going back. I'm tired. But everything that came out my mouth, I meant it. I meant what I said. I meant what I stood on because I was tired. I was tired. Reservations. We make reservations to, I used to realize that we make reservations to how we was going to use or who we was going to hurt or who we was going to take some money from or steal or whatever the situation had been. I had to find myself in a place in my life that I know I couldn't use again. Stop trying to pretend. Stop trying to act like everything is okay. Stop trying to act like you kind of overwhelmed or you overloaded. See, them are the people that sometimes find themselves going to other addictions, other pills, other alcohol, other weed. You got to get honest and butt naked with yourself when it comes to these 12 steps. I love the 12 step. I hate this disease. And I tell you that all the time because I do. This disease cost me a lot, but it gained me much. It gave me the wisdom to know that I'm okay not using. I just have to learn how to depend on the God of my understanding that can help me. Hey, Latrice. Hey, Rachel. How you doing, baby? I had to learn how to become truthful with myself. Well, looking in the mirror and the mirror's looking back at us. We have to learn how to become true. Expectation on how somebody look at me. Expectation. Let me talk about expectation. Expectation, just because I got clean, my expectation is thinking everybody gonna, be happy for me. Everybody gonna want to see me happy. Everybody glad that we clean. Everybody glad that we stop doing the things that we doing. Stop prostituting. Stop lying. Stop stealing. Stop gambling. Stop cutting. Everybody, we think everybody's supposed to feel special like we do when we stop using. But everybody don't feel like that because everybody got issues. Some of the same people's family members that we deal with got issues. And they ain't worked on their issue while we've been healing. They ain't been working on their issue while we've been asking God to take this away and deliver me from this. And God, please help me, keep my sanity to where I know where I'm going and where I've been. I thank God that when I told you today I've been on fire because, when I look back over, when we look back, come on, Rachel. When we look back over our lives and seeing the steps that we made to kill and hurt ourselves, And you supposed to be happy. You supposed to feel good. You gave up something in order to get something. And what I gain can't no money buy. And that's the reality of knowing who I am and that I ain't got to use. I ain't got to be called a crackhead. I ain't got to be called an alcoholic. I ain't got to be called nobody but Renee that's in recovery. And I'm straight on serious about that. You know, recovery found me. I'm so glad recovery delivered me. I'm so glad that I found a unity of a lot of peoples, and I thank God for the friends that I made along the way. I thank God that I know I don't ever have to pick up no matter what happens in my life. And man, we go through something in life. We go through something in life. Let me tell you something. We go through denial. We go through death. We go through rejection. We go through hurt. We go through despair. We go through so many, volumes. Like when the radio is low and we want to hear some high music, we turn the volume up. Well, that's how our lives is. When everything is going smooth and everything is fine, somebody around us, somebody near us, or Satan himself needs to turn the volume up so we can feel a certain way, so we can act a certain way, so we can be put in a spiral circle and feel bad. But I learned that every healing is different. Every healing that's been in my life has been different. Delivering me off of drugs, that was a healing. Walking away when I see trouble or see hurt coming for me because you hurt. See, hurt people can hurt people only if you allow them to. Only if you allow them to. And so when I cut my music on, it's soft and mellow. But when things get loud in our lives and we start going through changes and expectation on how we think other people should treat us or how we think that we, come too far for people to see us, everybody don't see you. Let me make that clear. Everybody don't see you. Everybody see what they want to see. Because you don't have to prove nothing to. Do you know y'all keep on not using? Y'all keep on not picking up. Y'all keep on going to meetings. Y'all keep on telling on this disease. You keep showing up and telling people how you hurting and how you feel. Because if you don't tell nobody, hey Kenny, if you don't tell nobody, the God of my understanding know anyway. So my life is a journey right now because I'm living my best life. Even when I'm hurting, even when I'm going through, even when I'm happy, I thank God that, we can go down that memory lane. I am so glad for a back memory lane, a way we used to be. Man, we wasn't no joke, was we? The way we used to be, the way we used to lie, the way we used to wake up throwing up, the way we used to sleep with somebody we don't even know we slept in, the way we used to go through alleys looking for some dope, the way we used to hurt other people so we can get a fix. How we used to let people that we worked so hard for come in, the dope man, and come in and take our property because we want to get high. See, I can go down that memory lane. I don't have to stay there, but I must revisit it to know just how grateful I am. Just how grateful I am that I can wake up with some money in the bank. I can wake up with some money in my pocket. I can wake up with a roll of tissue paper. Many rolls of tissue paper. Many. When I used to couldn't buy one roll of tissue paper. That's how bad it was. That's how bad this addiction gets for us. And some of us still come in, still trying to lie and manipulate our way in. And so that means you ain't surrendered totally everything. When you come into this place of recovery, you have to learn how to work the steps. I had to get me a sponsor. And I still got that same sponsor, and I take my hat off to her because she's been such an inspiration to me when I was at my downfalls, when I was at a boiling point. I had her to talk to, you. You know, see, people think that they ain't alcoholics and they keep drinking. That was me. People think they ain't crackheads, but they keep getting high and take every dime you got to get high. That was me. People still using heroin thinking that's going to help them out. That wasn't me, but it's a drug. And the alcohol, it's a drug. And the pills, it's a drug. You have to know that what's been hurting you can still hurt you. That's why I always tell people I hate this disease. Because this disease is cunning and it's baffling and it's a twist to it. It'll make you think you okay when you really ain't okay. Hey, Auntie. Hey, Latrice. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you, Kelly. Sometimes in this life, things gonna get bad. Disappointment gonna come in your life. Loved ones gonna leave you in this life. Rejection gonna hit your door in this life. Denial, still while we clean, is gonna come into your life. But you got some tools that you didn't used to have, see. I got some tools that I didn't used to have. I got some tools that I can use now when things get a little cloudy. When I see that Satan won't get his hands off of me. I have to learn how to go back and read and remember that I am a recovering addict. And remember that I paid the price to be here. And what was that price? That remember humiliation. It remember that I hurt myself. It remember that I almost died using. It remembers that I have to learn how to be obedient. I have to learn how to take responsibility. I have to learn how to have some responsibility of knowing that I'm responsible for my recovery. Ain't nobody else responsible for our recovery. We are responsible for our recovery. And it's the first time in my life I want to tell y'all and keep telling y'all, because this is what I tell myself. Don't you ever give up. I don't care who look at you a certain way, or who holding on to stuff, or who won't let you be happy, or who want to make you think you was the worst mom, the worst dad, the worst sister, the worst brother, the nieces and nephews. Let me tell you something. You're responsible. Recovery has taught me I'm responsible for my joy. I'm responsible for that. Can't nobody give me that joy like the God of my understanding can. So I had to really learn and be clean all this time to realize ain't no going back for me. No matter what circumstances, no matter what hurt, no matter what denial, no matter what confusion, I got peoples I can talk to, sponsors, I got a sponsor I can call. God is my number one sponsor. My other sponsor, she's always there. Thank God for that. Nobody will never know who my sponsor is. That's my privilege. Nobody's supposed to know my sponsor. To me, the God of my understanding gave her to me because, he felt that I needed somebody special that could relate and that can deal with me and that can understand me and know that I am for real. I'm a real recovering addict. I ain't one that's falsifying. I ain't one that's coming into place lying and manipulate. I ain't coming into place to hurt nobody. Why would I want to hurt somebody that the place that I've been going in has been healing me? Why would I do that? Addiction is real. It's very real. People's is dying. They overdosing. I just had a friend girl a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago. They found her dead. See, addiction is so real until if you don't get a grip on it, the grip gonna be on you. Trying to act like you okay and everything is not okay. The makeup can only cover up so much. The clothes can overcover so much. But it's what's in the inside. It's what you've been dealing with in the inside. It's what you found out about yourself in the inside. It's what you know that you can change about yourself. It's coming from the inside. We are responsible for our own joy. And the world can't give it to you. The God of my understand can. Because if you let God come into your life like he came into the 12-step program, and I always tell people, I knew I was going to make it. I was determined. I was tired. I had to let go. I had to get some accountability in my life, some responsibility in my life. I had to do some accepting of things that I cannot change in my life. And once I got a hold to that, I was okay. Because see, this life that we living in it's like a checkerboard. You know, on the checkerboard, you have to make certain moves. You have to make certain moves to try to win. You got to make certain moves to try to win. You got to make certain moves to try to win. You got to jump over hurdles and jump over this. Same way with chess. That's what our life is about. Ain't no way I'm moving. I'm still. Hey, I like where I'm at. The place that I'm at, I'm like, I like my peace. I don't want nobody in there that's disturbed, that ain't worked on themselves. They're still blaming people for stuff. But they don't look at themselves. People don't look at themselves. They look at what everybody else do. Everybody else did this. I'm holding resentment. You did this. You did this years ago. You didn't do this years ago. Hey. You can have it because I'm at peace. And when you at peace, you ain't got to even tell nobody but the people you want to know you at peace because it's going to show. I done worked too hard on myself to let anything and anybody take me somewhere that I have visited before. I have been there before, and I'm not going back to that no more. And that's on what they say. That's keeping it 100. I ain't going no more. I used for my last time. Over 35 years ago. I ain't going no more. I don't owe nobody nothing. All I got to do is keep working on me. All you got to do in this recovery, when you come into recovery is supposed to mean something to you. It's a privilege. It's a gift. To me, it's a gift to walk into a place of unknown peoples all over the world, and we all got one thing in common. Now, ain't that something? You can walk into a building, like when I went to the convention. When I walk into the conventions, there's thousands of people from all different areas of life, all different states, everything. But we can walk into a place and have one thing in common. We are addicts. We are recovering addicts. That right there spoke volume to me. When I first went to my first convention, I cried. I went in the bathroom and cried. What kind of place is this that you can go to a meeting and you can meet people from Texas, New York, Kansas, Mexico, all over the world? What kind of place is this that you can walk into a room and get accepted? What kind of place is this that you can walk in a room and people look nice and dress nice and living right and doing right? What kind of atmosphere am I in? Somebody took me to that. I was a newcomer. Somebody took me to that meeting. And when I got in that meeting and they started counting down and they got to one day, and I believe I was like 60 days clean. When they got into that one day, I felt something that I ain't never experienced before in my life. I experienced change. I experienced that I made God a promise that night that I went in that bathroom and I cried to myself. And I saw all these people not wanting nothing from me. I didn't have to please nobody. All I had to come and do is come in there and admit that I'm a recovering addict. And if I didn't want to say that, I'm still in the atmosphere because we know it's a convention for recovering addicts. My life changed. I still had to work on a lot of different things. Why do I keep picking up? Why? Why can't I let go of something that's hurting me? Why do I still depend on pills and alcohol to take me through the week? Why do I have to use and hurt somebody to get through, to get one more hit? Why can't I let go, God? Why can't I let go of something that I know is bad for me and that's continuing to hurt me spiritually, emotionally, and physically? Why is it? Why is it? Why do we keep telling ourselves we don't have a problem? Why do we keep being that dressed up lie? Because you put your makeup on good and you look good and you put your hair on and your clothes is on and think that you can't clean up the inside like that. You can't do it. You can't clean up the inside like that. You got to be honest. When they say this is an honest program, that's exactly what they mean. This ain't no program you come in pretending, like you want to give up this, but keep this, or you want to give up that to keep this. You got to give up everything that caused you to pick up in the first place. Your behavior, your character defect, your personality, your impulsiveness. You have to learn how to deal with everything because it's that is what kept us using. That was the reason why I couldn't stop. When I kept asking God, why do I keep making promises and tell you that I'm going to stop? Hey, Larry, and keep on going. Why is it, God, that hey, Auntie Wanda, that's my auntie, biggest fan. Why can't I let go of things that's hurting me? I want to be better than this. I want to know what's the trigger for me. I want to know what's affecting me. I want to know. I got to know. I want to know why can't I leave addictive things alone? Why can't I? I know I got addictive personality. I found that out using drugs. I found that trying to go and get one more. I found out a lot of stuff about me. And I'm sure you done found a lot of stuff out about y'all too. But see, I don't come here to judge. I tell you that with the God of your understanding, you cannot lose. You cannot lose. You can pretend all you want to. You can say I stopped doing crack, but I still drink it. You can say I stopped drinking, but I do crack. I pop pills. I do cough syrup. I do heroin. I do fentanyl. You can't stop one addiction and go to another. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to stop doing heroin but pick up alcohol, or stop doing alcohol and you pick up, because then you're going to pick up some more addiction. It'll go to gambling. It'll go to lying. Because remember, we had these addictions before we even knew we had them. It was a build-up. Remember I said we like channels. When the channels is low, I'm good. But when that volume get up and it's disturbing me and it's too loud and it's get cloudy and I can't hear and I can't concentrate and I can't figure out where I'm at, then I need to turn it back down. I need to turn it. That's how my life is. When things get cloudy or somebody come and attack me or somebody want to hurt me, and it ain't just got to be that. Sometimes we can hurt ourselves by the way we think about the peoples we in front of, the era. See, look. I work too hard for peace. I work too hard for it. And I can't help what I did in the past. 30, 40, 50 years ago. I cannot help that. Addiction is real. Addiction make you do things that you normally wouldn't do, or see things that you should have been paying attention, or avoid things that you shouldn't have been doing. That's why it's called addiction. But why you judging somebody else, or why people judging somebody? Look at your addiction. Look at all your behaviors. Look at what the stuff you do. But see, when you come into recovery, it's all about forgiveness. When you come into recovery, it's all about forgiving. Forgiving what I did. Forgiving myself. Learning to love myself. Learning to understand my disease of an addiction. Because see, your disease can manifest and come into your life, your circle in life at any given time. I could have multiple years, 40 years, 50 years, 30 years. I can have all that. But if you don't stand on something, you will fall for anything. You have to stand on this disease. You have to know what this disease is about. This disease is about a person. It's about a character. It's about a disease that gets in our body, and the only way that it can get in, if we allow ourselves to get it, or pick it up, or buy it, or let it come to us. It's the only way. I hate this disease. Because I know what it done for me, and I know what it did for you, and I know what it did for millions. Some of them can't even speak no more because they ain't here. A lot of my friends that I truly love, that I went through the meetings with and went through, you know, when I had the transportation in the recovery house and we went to meetings, we hung out, they ain't here no more. They ain't here no more. I worked too hard to let some dope or something take me out of my boundary. I got a boundary, y'all. And that boundary uses, I have to learn how to be humble. I have to learn that this disease ain't no joke. I have to learn that this disease kills and it destroys and it turns people's lives around. It separates husbands. It separates wives and kids. It separates mothers and fathers and nieces and nephews. It does its damage. It does its damage. It almost had me. It almost took me out of here. But somewhere down the line, the God of my understanding, He heard all them prayers when I was a using addict. I was a praying son of a gun when I was a using addict. But I can promise you He heard every last word, every prayer that I said. How, you know, people say, oh, how you gonna pray and smoke? Well, I did it. I was a praying addict. Hitting the pipe, hitting whatever I could, and crying and asking God to deliver me. People think that's impossible. But I'm telling you today, it is possible. That if you are using and you know what you're doing is wrong, somewhere down the line you're going to have to ask for help. Don't come in recovery playing, because then you the one going to get messed on. You the one ain't going to make it. You the one that might overdose and not be here today. Recovery is real. Unity is real. Forgiveness is real. Man, I had to forgive. Ooh, Lord. Oh, God, I had to forgive. And the first person I had to start with was me. The very first person that I had to honestly forgive was me. Was me, y'all. And I'm okay to tell you I done it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue to walk this path of recovery. I wasn't sure about a lot of things when I came into treatment. But I found one thing out. If you stick and stay, it gets better. If you change the way you think, it gets better. If you change the peoples in the area that you're in your life at all given days, it gets better. No, let me tell you something. Do you know how many demons? Do you know how many demons we have to fight because we recover? Do you know how many demons that we have to fight in our mind and in our head because we can't use? We can't pick up. We can't just go get a drink or go get high no more. And that was a a big part of our lives is the way we do things. When things didn't work out, or we needed to run away, or we didn't want to face the real truth, or we didn't want to know the real truth, when we were kept being in denial. Don't you know that's how it worked for me? Is to keep getting drunk, to keep getting high, to keep running. Don't you know? Don't you know that's the trick of the enemy? Don't you know when you sit up there and you drink and you use drugs, you hurt yourself, and not only yourself, other people's around you? And that's where the forgiveness come in. That's why I told you when I came in, I had to, ask people for forgiveness. I had did some things I swear I couldn't remember. I did some things that I could remember. I did some things I didn't want to remember. I did some things that hurt people, and I didn't mean to hurt people. But it was the addiction. It was the addiction of the drug. It was the addiction of the alcohol. It was the addiction of everything. But when we come in, that's one of the things of step one. That's one of the things that we come in and we admit. That's why we admit. That's why it was so hard for me to admit. I didn't want to identify myself with the truth. And if I got to identify myself with the truth, I run. Because remember, I didn't like identifying myself with truth. I didn't like identifying myself with hurt. I didn't like identifying myself with denial. That's why I use. But when I admitted to God, when I admitted to God that I had a problem, He already knew I had the problem. He already knew that Renee had a problem. He already knew that. But it was for me to find out what the problem was. And it was the drugs. It was me. All of it was me. That's why I tell you, thank God for memories. Thank God for going back down memory lane. Because you don't know how grateful you are when you done been clean 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, or just for today. You don't know what we have to face and how many demons come in our lives, and how many times of the day do the demons come into our life to try to pull us back, or to try to get us to drink, or try to get us to go back and get high, or not pay our rent but get high, or not pay our car note but get high, but not pay the bills, the lights, or the gas, but I choose to get high. Yeah, hey, I hate this disease. When I tell you I hate this disease, because this disease is it's messing up people's lives. It's hurting some friends of mine. I done had to bury about 9 people this year, and the year ain't even over with. So when I tell you I hate this disease, I say that, I had to learn. Let me tell you this. I had to learn about this word called hate. I had to learn that. Coming into recovery, I had some resentments. I have some hate that I didn't want to let go of. I had some hate that had been buried in me for years, and I wanted it to stay there because I wanted to continue to hate, and I wanted to continue to let that be a part of the reason why I continue to use in my life every day. So I had to learn how to hold on to hate, because hate kept me feeling a certain kind of way. Hate kept me feeling that I could use, because I can blame it on this, or I can blame it on that. I can have a reason to tell you why I hate. Until I learned how to have a reason to forgive. Forgive everybody. First of all, I had to start with me. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive nobody until it starts with me. I ain't never been a person that had to sit on the front line. I ain't never been that type of person. I was always a person that always in the back scene. I'm okay being in the back right now. I ain't got no problem with it. I just ain't gonna let you run over me and hurt you in the process. But I'm okay being quiet. I'm okay sitting back and analyzing everything and looking at everything the way it is and seeing in my mind what needs to be fixed. But then I have to remember, I got that impulsiveness of fixing, managing, and control. So sometimes I just have to let go of things that I can't control, things I can't manage. But I can manage what's going on with me. I can deal with me. I can learn to fix me when it feel like I'm breaking. I can do that. I know I got some genuine friends in my life that I didn't have to buy or I didn't have to do something to get. That's the best feeling in the world. Because every time I was using all my life, all I did was people please, use, nurture, took care of you, gave you. I'm a giver. I'm still a giver. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I was just thinking of how God uses me in front of my own kids. How God uses me in front of all my adopted kids, my kids I'm finna adopt, and them my babies. They help keep me on the right path. And it was crazy because we went to McDonald's. I always give you a little of me on some stories. I have to get it out. But anyway, me and the kids, we had a good day. We went to McDonald's. We went shopping. We went to the store. And we just stopped at this McDonald's. That's why I know God has worked on me. And He's still working on me. He's still letting me see some things that I didn't even know about me. It's still seeing strength that I didn't realize how much strength I had in me. He's still showing me. So we sitting there eating, and this one, these two kids, and my kids always watching me. Cause I'm always every time me and my kids together, somebody need this, somebody need that. And I don't hesitate. Cause I don't never want nobody to say that was God and God saving me. I was there, but you did not feed me or you did not give to me. So I don't never want it. I don't never want that to be God. I don't never want that. And so we sitting in there eating, and I just kept chewing this burger. I'm not a McDonald's fan, but when the kids go, I got me one of them ribs or whatever you call it, the new Mac ribs. And I was sitting there and I was eating it. And we were sitting in there and we're having our little meeting, talking, having fun. And this one little boy had on some skates. I never knew. The cutest little boy had on some skates. He had his little phone. He was sitting there. And then it was this other boy. He was strange. Because this boy kept walking past, looking at me eat, walking past, and then my kids was looking at him, kept walking past while I'm eating, and so then he go back and sit down, and the other little boy, they watching me. I'm like, dang, I can't even bite this sandwich without them watching me. They literally was sitting there watching me, and I'm like, hey, what's your name? All across the table. What's your name? Oh, Joseph. And this other one said something. I said, oh, y'all sitting in here waiting on somebody? I'm getting a little information so I can see where they at. So one of the little boys said, I'm waiting on my dad. I said, you waiting on your dad? I said, okay. The other boy said, I'm waiting on my ride. My ride's supposed to be getting here. So I go back to the little boy. I said, your dad is coming? Oh, yeah. He said, he supposed to come pick you up. I don't know. He just bust out and said, I don't know. I said, you don't know? I said, do y'all want something to eat? Yeah. Y'all want something to eat? I said, go up there and tell them. I told my daughter, I said, go up there, Savannah, and go over there and let them pick what they want to eat. And they came up to me and said, thank you. But I couldn't continue to sit there and eat. I couldn't continue to sit there and God done bless me with some money in my pocket and a few dollars in the bank that I can't go and get some money for them two little boys to eat. And so then this is how my kids started laughing. Once they got the food, they was like, thank you. He was on this roller skate, and I thought they was going to go their separate ways. And they both went the same way. They both left out of there. He rolling on his skates, and the boy, they got their food, and they was happy. And I said, and my kids said, Mom, that boy said he was waiting on his dad and then on ride. I said, don't matter. Once God can show up in anybody, God can show up in your life at any given time. I ain't turning nobody down. You know, I just can't do it. And I'm not going to downrate people. I was in a little seizure to get the kids in pieces. And these people was talking about this man so bad. It irked me. I ain't going to lie. It irked me because I was one of them people in that same situation. High, confused, mental health done kicked in. I'm out here fiending, want some dope, want some alcohol. And he was like, ma'am, inside the place, can I get a little change to get me a Mountain Dew? I said, I can do better than that. I said, you want something to eat? He said, yes, ma'am. Old black guy, I've got to be in his 50s. And I was irking. Now, what if that's God? And he turned around and, you know, I just take everything as God. I don't want to deny nobody. I ain't finna deny nobody. Because somebody had favor on my life when I was in that addiction. Somebody helped me. Somebody fed me. Somebody gave me. Somebody did things for me that I couldn't even do for myself. Never get too high where you can't remember where you come from. Never get too high that you was that crackhead, you was that user, you was that prostitute, you was that liar, you was that stealer. You can't never forget that. That's why it's good to have memories, so we can realize where we come from. We know where we been and where we ain't going back, but we know where we going and gonna stay there. Expectation on other people's. Expectation. I can't never forgive nobody or never wonder why don't nobody forgive me. If you want to hold on to hate, I worked so much in my life to understand hate until I came into recovery. I don't ever want to hate again. How can a person be so comfortable hating? That word hate. How can a person be so comfortable being hating somebody until you come into? That's why I say I love the Narcotics Anonymous program, because it taught me how to work on all areas of my life. Look at everything. Don't just look at one thing. Look on why do I have expectation on or premeditated to go get high. Why did I always premeditate that I was going to do this from the time I woke up in the morning until the time of night? Or why do I premeditate and say, well, when I get off work, I'm going to go get me a drink or go get me a cup of bags, you know, because of the addiction. So everything I know that led me to addiction or caused my addiction, I look at my life now. I'm not an addicted person. I don't get high. I don't drink. I ain't playing with this recovery. I'm not trying to win no brownie points. Only thing I'm doing is saving my life because I don't want to ever use again in my life. Because if you've been through what I've been through and I've been through what you've been through, we know what it is when it comes to pain. We know what it is when it comes to rejection. We know what it is when it comes to denial. We know what it is when it comes to hate. We know what it is when we come to love. Look. I ain't never going back. Y'all can do. People can do what they want to do. And see, I'm a person that sit back. You know, maybe I should be going, but when it comes to a meeting, I'm good. I can talk, speak, I can do whatever. But other than that, I'm kind of like, long as I got God in my life and He's the head of my life, then I know that wherever I go and He's with me. That's how I look at it. You know, recovery has been so good to me. It's taught me how to let go of You ever heard of have you ever heard of a person that's toxic? Have you ever heard of people that's toxic? And it can be your own family. It can be your own cousin. It can be your own mother. It can be, some people become toxic while you are clean. While you working on yourself. I got some toxic peoples that I just ain't finna fool with no more. It's done. It's a deal. You know, sometimes toxic peoples have helped us in captivities, and they didn't even know that we was our own hostage in our own mind. They did not even know that. But while you study holding on to stuff, and I'm hostage, and I had to learn how to not be nobody, not let nobody hold me ever in hostage again, because the drugs had me hostage for a long, long time, and I refused to go back to that life of being held hostage in captivity due to the disease of an addiction. I just ain't finna do it ever again. You know, you know, when we come to a point in our lives, especially when we become old fools, you know better. You too old to be constantly using. You too old to be study sneaking and getting high. You too old to know that you don't have to use no matter what. I know I can't use no more. Ain't no sense of nobody telling me I can, because I can't. No, I refuse not to ever let drugs take me back to a point to where I had forgot all about me, and I had rejected me, and I stopped nurturing me, and I had to learn to get back on the wheel of getting to know who I am all over again. And now that I know who I am all over again, I'm okay with that. I'm at peace. And you know, people that's at peace want to keep peace. And I'm going to definitely keep peace. Long as I got my books that I can read, I can call my sponsor, I can go to a meeting, or I can sit with the girls and go out to eat or whatever. That's my peace. And I'm not going to let nobody disturb my peace. I don't care, because your peace is so messed up. I'm not a pretending person. I never have. Even when I was using, I wasn't a pretending person. I kept using and kept using, kept crying, kept praying. I wasn't no intensive person. I can't go that route. Hey, Miss Johnson, I can't go that route. Hey, Robin, I can't go that route. Hey, Larry, I cannot go that route. I'm telling you, I didn't get in recovery to please nobody else. I didn't get in recovery to try to fix what I messed up back in the disease of my addiction. I can't do it. All I can do is go forward. All I can do is work on me. I'm responsible for my own joy, because can't nobody else give it to me. I'm responsible for my own joy. I had to find out, why do people laugh and look good and not drink and can have fun? I had to get to that point. I had to get to that point. I had to learn how to deal with Renee. I had to tell the truth about me. I sure enough had to tell the truth about me. I had to get to the nitty-gritty of why I couldn't stop using. I had to get to that. I had to get to the point. I had to get to the point where I was tired. It's okay for me to shed some tears. It's okay to know that I was lost. It's okay. It's okay, God. I got it. And long as I got it, I'm going to keep it. No matter what you think about me, no matter how you feel about us, no matter what you hold on me, I'm not letting detox peoples back in my life. That's the reason I got high. Always want to hold me cautious. Always can't please mama. Can't please daddy. Can't please sisters. Can't please your own kids. Can't please your brother. It's always going to find something bad that I've done in my addiction. But now you still got addiction and you still doing things. But I'm study healing and you study holding on to resentments and anger. What is that? Is that growing? Or is that being stuck? I ain't never finna be stuck again. I was stuck for over 30 years. And now that I found a new way to live and I'm on a journey, a good journey, that I don't have to be scared to be in this journey. Do you know what that said? I just said, what kind of place is this that I can get up at 10:30 or 9:30 and walk into a meeting and I'm accepted? What kind of place is this? What kind of forgiving place is this that we all came in for the same reason? Because of our addiction, because we belong, because we recovering addicts, because we learn how to do some things that people still don't know how to do or ain't stopped doing. Is we learn how to say no to drugs and alcohol. What kind of place did the God of my understanding send me to? And you know what he sent is called a place of hope, a place of possibilities, a place of forgiveness, a place of love, a place of letting go, a place of surrendering, a place of acceptance, a place of I have expectation that I can make it. What kind of place can you go to that's going to give you all them different amenities on one plate? On one plate. I got love. I got forgiveness. I got hugs. I got laughter. I got hope. I got possibility. I got let go. I got resentment. I got accountability. I got something that the plate is overflowing. It's so many amenities on this plate. It's overflowing. Now, why? I can't afford to let nail one of them drop. I need all these amenities that's on my plate. I need the love. I need the forgiveness. I need the hope. I need the surrendering. I need all that. Because all that's going to play a part in our lives as we recover and we go down this journey called New Way to Live. See, all you got to do, work your program, and your program will work through you. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. You ain't got to act like you this and act like you that and you got this. I'll just be me. Because for a first time in my life, I have truly been me. I don't mess with nobody, and ain't nobody gonna mess with me. I stay in my lane because I'm not driving. I learned how to forgive because hate had me bound. It had me running. It had me using. It had me giving up. It had me wanting to die. So, there are too many amenities that comes with the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. And guess what? They all good amenities. Ain't nothing bad about anything with the 12 steps of Anonymous program. You got to use it as it come to you. If you on working on denial, work on that denial. If you working on accountability, work on that accountability. If you working on impulsive, work on that impulsive. It's so many amenities in this 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. It's no way you can lose. It ain't no way. I don't care who don't go to meetings. I do. Anytime I don't want to go to a meeting, I go to a meeting. I ain't never going to get exempt from going to a meeting or going to a convention or going to see my sponsor. You know, I need all this. It's been keeping me in this best life that I've ever had. Why would I want to give it up? I don't. I'm not. And I hate this disease. My friend asked me yesterday, Ken asked me yesterday, said, Renee, why do you always say that? I say, because when I say it, and keep saying I hate this disease, I hate it enough to stay away. That's why I say I hate this disease. Because I know hate had me staying away from people. Hate had me hurting people. Hate had me not caring. But see, now this kind of hate, I want to continue to hate. And on them drugs. Nothing else. Just on the drugs. I love the God of my understanding, because he's a person that hears all. He's a person that knows all. He's a person that helps all. He's a person that gives all. And for that, I'm grateful. The 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program have saved my life many times over and over again. I thank God for the memories that I still have to be a reminder that this is a gift from God for me. I can't speak about nobody else, but most of y'all probably feel the same way. Man, started off as one day at a time. Ended up, there's a week go. Ended up 30 days. Ended up 60 days. Ended up 9 months. Ended up 12 months. Ended up multiples of years. Ended up 1 year. But the most one that really got me was just for that day. Just for the day I ain't got to use. No matter what happens, no matter who hurt me, no matter who don't like me, no matter who love me, no matter who can't let go of things, I'm healing. While you sitting progressive still killing yourself and holding on to resentments because you think things gonna turn out one way when it might not even turn out that way. I know why people do their expectation of what they do. I know why. And I don't ever want to get like that. I want my expectation of me to always be good, be respectful, love somebody, share, give, help, talk, show up. That's it. Because when I was using, I'm going to leave with this. When I was using, I remember people used to see me walking or getting out the car or walking to the door, and I could have swore that door was open when I pulled up. And now the door was closed. I could have swore that blind was open when I pulled up, but now the blind is closed. See, even they didn't like me. Even they didn't like me. So I'm grateful. I thank God for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. And, you know, we come to a point in our lives where we can't keep doing foolish things and thinking things is going to be different. The outcome will never be different. The only thing that I realize today is that long as I've been clean for all these years, if I choose to go back, I will die. That's what's different. That's what's different for me. I'm too scared to go back. I have enough respect from the drugs to leave it alone. It's too much. I cannot compete. I cannot win with drugs. I had to find out by going through the pain and the things that I did to realize I'm a recovering addict, and I'll be a recovering addict the rest of my life until the day I die. I serve a God of my understanding that had brought me to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. And he brought me there for a reason, that was to save my life. Because he showed me death right in front of me, showed me my own casket, what color it was, my mother and daughter and son carrying my mother to the casket, and that was enough for me. It was an eye-opening, a ruling and awakening in my life that I got to stop. Yes, I will die. And I want to say that to you ones that's struggling, you don't have to struggle. You can make phone calls. Yeah, I always put my number in my text. No bull crapping, no trying to talk. Just if you're serious about recovery, I can help you. Or I can send you to some places like I do every day. Or pick you up and take you to a treatment facility, or inpatient, or whatever it is. Just don't use. Because every day that you use is a day that you can lose your life. And that's what I had to realize. I ain't let nobody hold me hostage no more. I'm so proud of me. You know, it ain't that I'm grandiose, but then I have to go back and say, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because so many people can't do what I do. So many people can't stay clean. So many people are struggling like I did. They have to learn how to get it like we got it. They have to learn how to let go of some things and surrender and give it all to God. And for us to realize when we admit to ourselves that we are addicts. We are addicts. I'm an addict. I can't be around no drugs. Can't be around no alcohol. Don't want to be. I did enough of them for a lifetime. I don't want to be. So I'm clean. And I'm going to stay clean. No matter what. Why do some people act like they like you better when you was using? Why is that? Why is it that people like you better because you was using? And why do people think that long as you using, they can run over you and now you got clean? They don't like you like they used to? Why is that? I know why. You can't manipulate me. You can't use me. You can't hurt me like you used to. Can't do none of that. I'm a believer. I'm an overcomer. That's what I want y'all to realize. Everybody that's on this page are overcomers. You overcame many things, not just one thing. You overcame many things. Yeah, you supposed to be happy. Yeah, you supposed to. We are responsible for our joy. We are. We are. We are responsible for our recovery and what comes in the recovery. Recovery ain't supposed to be boring. It ain't supposed to be restless. It's supposed to be joy. I'm clean. Didn't use. I went through hell today. I recovered. I didn't use. I was talked to like dirt today. I didn't use. I was rejected today. I didn't use. I was lied on and talked about. I didn't use. Overcomers. I'd rather be an overcomer than to be a loser and lose my life on top of it. Okay, y'all? Thank y'all. That hour was over with. I love this step for Sunday. Come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to some sanity. That's mine, y'all. I know y'all say that every time. That's mine. See, recovery is good. It's good for the soul. Anybody that's really working a program and really proud of themselves and really got some accomplishment and really see their life change, that's why you full of joy. And I had to endure some things. I paid the price to be here. I went through some things to get here. And now that I've got here, come on, y'all, let's stay here. Y'all help peoples. Y'all love on peoples. Y'all forgive peoples. Don't hold things and carry resentments and go to bed at night, because you ain't promised you gonna wake up. I forgive. God, I forgave her. God, I forgive him. But I gotta stay to myself. I got to. Because, you know, you've been working on me. And you've been showing me how to nurture myself. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Because they ain't healed. Or because they still going through. Or because they want control over certain things. And they might not even live to be here to control nothing. So my life tells you that while you hurting, or while you hurting other people, and while you saying things, but while they saying things and hurting, you healing. Come to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. That's a good one. I'm fired up. I'm ready. I'm ready. That's a good one for me because that number 2 got me. Number 1 had me, and number 1 was I can't. 1 tells you I can't. 2 tells you he can. And 3, them first 3 tell you so I let them. Love you. Do something nice and kind for someone today. I hope I encourage somebody to be an overcomer and love peoples. And if you ain't got nothing nice to say, and recovery teaches us, be mindful how we treat peoples. You know, and once we treat ourselves good, then we'll even treat the one that treat us bad still good. That's why I love this program. Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed. See you Sunday. Step 2, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore some sanity into our lives. And that right there is a gift. Have a good night. Talk to you later. I forgot to say something to the families. That lost their children this week, to the family that lost loved ones who overdosed this week, to families that lost their daughters, mothers, fathers, nieces, and nephews. I got you. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers because it ain't easy of what this journey in life can bring to us unexpected. So for that, I'm grateful. I will keep all y'all in prayers. And for everyone that got on this site tonight, thank you for letting me come into your home, into your living room, your bathroom, wherever you found me, or wherever you listening to me from. I value, I stand on what I say because I know what recovery have done for me. I know what recovery can do for you. I know what working the steps will make you be better. Find out things about yourself that's better. Be nice and kind to somebody today. You know, and if you haven't told somebody you love them, we're not promised to wake up in the morning. Tell them that you love them. And for the ones that don't want to be around you, still tell God to keep them and that you love them. That's my gift to you all tonight. Thank y'all, Rachel. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Kenny, for the ones that show up. There's many shows up after I get off. Thank all of you. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Rachel. Good to see y'all. Good to see Robin. Good to see Miss Johnson. Good to see you. Good, Kenny. Just good to see people. Because don't nobody have to be nice or be on here. But if wasn't nobody on here, Renee still going to be on here. Because this is what God gave to me, and this is what I'm going to keep doing until he tell me otherwise. God bless. Talk to you next Sunday. Talk to you this Sunday. Step 2, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to some sanity. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay safe, y'all. Stay safe. Stay safe.